Hello, just want to do a video here to share with you my thoughts and strategy behind building this rig. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. The first thing and the main topic that I want to talk about is GPU spacing and sufficient airflow. That's basically all I want to talk about in this video, so I'm going to keep it nice and short. What I've done here with this rig here, from building a lot of different rigs, I've worked with, server grade motherboards like that within server cases, outside of server cases. I've done the Veta frames, I've done the aluminum angle builds, but what I found worked pretty well on a budget is using one of these open hangers here. It's a shelf basically, and spacing my cards out anywhere between 15 to 20 centimeters. In this particular case here, I have 7 cards across, and in total there are 2 mining rigs. I believe one of them is 6 GPU, one of them is 5 GPUs, but that's irrelevant besides the point. What I basically want to just mention is take a look. If your temperatures are high with your current rig designs, consider spacing your cards out more. This is one thing I wish I knew when I first started mining out using Veta frames, because a Veta frame has relatively decent GPU spacing, but what I found is that once I gave the cards ample airflow and enough space between the cards, the temperatures improved significantly. I got probably between a 2 to 5 degree temperature decrease on all these cards between, compared before when they were just in a normal mining rig setup. And yeah, the reason I hang them like this is they're very easy to maintain, basically do maintenance on. And again, when you space the cards out well, you don't need to run the fans as hard. There's a lot more air in the center here. Somewhere in that area there, you can see there's a lot more space. So overall, you're going to improve the life expectancy of your fans. You don't have to run them as hard. You can also use active cooling if you're still in a warm environment and you find the heat just builds up around your cards. Do what I do, use a fan. One of these big box fans are about 20 inches, give or take. Like, that's just the diameter, I believe. They move quite a lot of air. They only pull around 55 watts. So in comparison, a normal 8 GPU server case with 4 high CFM fans that uses around 100 to 115 watts just for those server fans alone. So that's where, again, with your own rig design, you should consider, or I would suggest, I'm not going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, but I would suggest looking at, okay, how can I space my cards out more effectively? Because what you'll find is if you do a test bench setup with one of your GPUs, the temperatures are good. Probably, because you don't have your GPU sandwiched together. In this case here, I have my cards spaced out about 10 to 15 centimeters. When I was initially building this, I did not have those fans in the background, and without them, the temperatures were all right, but they weren't that great. They were definitely a big improvement from, if I sandwiched all the cards together on a server motherboard like this, but they weren't all that good. So once I added a little bit of active cooling in the background, moving air between all the cards, and a significant amount of air, without pulling too much wattage, of course, only around 55 watts per fan, I found the temperatures to be very, very good. I don't run these fans hard on the GPUs. If you're wondering, the GPU fans run anywhere from 50 to 67%. Compared to a lot of miners out there, I know that is very low, and that's because, one, the temperature in here obviously isn't that hot. It's only maybe around 28 degrees Celsius, so I don't know, give or take, that's probably an average mining room temperature. But what really made a big difference is spacing the cards out, because once, each GPU themselves can cool the card fine, but when you're pulling hot air, so let's say this RTX 2060 is mining, well, that hot air is going to now go into the fans behind that card, into the next fan behind that card, and then you start creating basically a heat pocket. The air just starts cycling within themselves. So yeah, anyways, I'm going to wrap up the video. This is not a professional video, but I just want to share with you the idea that please space your cards out more. It's gonna improve airflow a lot. I suggest if you need to move air, use these 20-inch diameter box fans. They work really well. They're super cheap. I think I paid around 33 Canadian dollars a piece for them, and I use a lot of them because they're really cheap. They move a lot of air. And yeah, anyways, if you want to see a specific type of content in the future on this channel, because I do plan on posting more again, comment down below. And if you've ever used kind of an open air frame like this, where you just hang your GPUs, how far apart do you space your GPUs? Do you use active cooling like a fan, or do you just hang them and just let the air dissipate naturally? I'd like to know. Let me know in the comments section below. And yeah, hopefully this helps some of you guys out, and I will be posting more content and better content in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.